that you don't do a nap. So the person who's gonna do this this speech is called David Parcerisa. He's been 30 years as well as me, because we started investigating the UFO phenomena and exploring other fields of the consciousness. Because you have to know that David is an astrologist, apart from being an investigator. So he's been specialized in astrology and a karmic astrology. These things that happen to us, that they're consequences of, or they are consequences of our actions in life, in our past lives. So that means that he believes in other lives, that our existence doesn't start and finish here. It's a continuum, temporal space, and it unites us with the all, and into these fields of exploration and investigation. He's been really popular for the abduction phenomena as well. He's been studying these phenomena as well as the whole UFO field. Especially we can see him at his YouTube channel, and he's very interested in a culture that we always talk about, the Sumerian culture. And he's got 3 books about extraterrestrials. And I'm convinced, I'm sure that we will know him because he's been in a Quarto Milenio TV program so many times, so lots of followers around the world through YouTube and channel and his website, davidparcerisa.org. Ladies and gentlemen, David Parcerisa with voices from other planes, psychophonies, the electronic voice phenomenon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. Today we're gonna talk about the thing that it's been really popular on my channel, on my YouTube channel, and the ones that you don't know about this is a bit shocking for some outsider, and that somebody like me, that is in the Anunnaki investigator field, and you can see the images of, so you can have an idea and you remember the memories from the past, right? In the Quarto Milenio with Iker Jimenez. It was a moment of my life, very intense, because I think it synced in it set up with the collective consciousness back then, and about our origins, and we were enhanced apparently from entities that are beyond this world. So I think that I believe that for a lot of people it's shocking that now David Parcerisa, known as a ufologist, that now is talking about, he used to talk about Anunnaki, now talks about the electronic voice phenomena, the psychophonies in Spanish. So David, José Guijarro as well, and as well with me, and lots more, they've lived in the first person, and there's unexpected things coming in this path. You want to get to the bottom of the issue, and sometimes there's some twists, and the way you arrive to that truth. That happened to me with the electronic voice phenomena. Back in the past, I used to do it and try it, and it never had any results. So, and I was really I couldn't understand. I couldn't handle that. Nothing turned up. So I started to follow the Jiménez del Oso. In his magazine, Más Allá magazine, he was one of the pioneers here. But as I said, never happened, and nothing happened. In 2015, September, we lost the house electronic light, the electricity, so we didn't have any computer, anything. I couldn't do anything. So my wife was the one who said, "Why don't we get the camera and the mic, and we go to your mom's house where your grandparents live." And we started there, and that's where it all started. And we've been already with this lot of years, intense years. You don't know what's like being in silence, and there's some voices that they respond you, they give you names, they give you surnames, they have given us at least between 12 and 18 names from entities. So here the more curious thing, and I'll try to resume and to brief you because it's too much. It's so long. It's not. I'd have to write an encyclopedia from things that had happened to us during the way. It's very complex. The interesting thing here is that the first voices were really from far away. You could, and as the time went past, they started to be stronger and stronger. So 2 weeks after, 80% would say that it's female voices. And then as the time passed, we had all different types of manifestations. They claim they were dead people that passed away. And in my town, one of the entities, he said it was a nun that was a teacher as well. This woman, well, I cannot mention the name right now, because otherwise David is going to be maybe punished, or so I can't say that. There's some information that's global that I think it's interesting, that it has to be known, but other things that affects to my family directly or friends in my town, and it's so this woman is the speaker of all these entities that had contacted us. This woman was from here, from the earth, is from here, from earth. She said that she lived till she was pretty old, and she passed away, and then from there, she told me all of us are humans, but one that it's extraterrestrial. She didn't tell me what's the name of this ET. And so I remember it was 2 or 3 weeks after we started with this phenomena, and I was telling them, can you tell me if this guy can come forward and talk to me? And she would say, no, he's here. Well, and I said, if you're here, tell me something, communicate with me, it means a message. And a voice popped up and said, I'm not going to tell you anything. So me and my wife knows that I'm a bit childish, and I got angry with him, and I said, okay, I'm not going to ask you anything else. So we started the relationship in a right way. And then a month later or so, this voice came back and said, this being, this ET that is not like us, is Enki. He's Enki. I said, oh? And I was like, wow. You believe that I was been all my life investigating the Sumerian gods, and you are telling me that this Enki, this entity? So I remember I asked to confirm 5-6 sessions. Are you talking about Enki, the Sumerian god? Yes, David. Yes, he is Enki. He has de-incarnated. He left his physical body thousands of years ago. I remember one day, I don't remember when, but beyond the Egyptian culture came from. So that's where the adventure started. I'll try to summarize the whole. What's the ET all about? Okay, it looks like this being was coming forward, and maybe you can say, David, they are trying to trick you, or it could be anything. So till now, I haven't proven that they've been lying to me. People that are around me have been forbidding me, have been telling me, and I have to respect that. So these people around me have seen this being in an energetic plane. I haven't seen, but if I had seen him, with no doubt I would come out here, I would say I've seen this and I've seen that, Enki or whatever. No, I haven't seen anything. I've had experiences in dreams. I can tell you about oniric experiences or feeling presence, but to see with my eyes at the daytime, no, I haven't seen anything that I could say. No. UFOs I've seen lots, but nothing else. So people around me, close to me, I can tell you and guarantee you that this has been all told by the voices and confirm them, because people ask, what is this? And people would say, it's Enki. Maybe I can tell you about a ball like this, just smaller than a football. It was shining, orange, with the intense and just turning on its own, turning around. So, and on top of that, we know that we have tapes about these voices, and we can measure them. And on top of that, we know that there's people around me that are seeing them. You get to the point that says, okay, what's happening here with something going on? Okay, I've brought 70 EVPs for all of you, but they are like short. Let's try. I don't have a lot of time, and I have here a computer, and they told me that it's gonna work. But okay, let's try. Well, it says it doesn't let me in Catalan. She's the woman of this is the voice of this woman. This is the voice that has appeared hundreds of times. So we have it really fresh in our memories, the tone of her tone of voice. Here, in Spanish, normally she talks in Catalan, and she says follow in Spanish. It's very curious, yeah, because it was a bit comical, the situation, because it was a day that these beings, apparently, they were waiting for me to ask. And that day, I thought I was being a bit I was asking too much, and I didn't say anything, so I was like in a meditative state. So they said in Catalan, today there's something going on, there's gonna be something going on. I don't know if you appreciate it. And here they told me, Mr. David. It's very clear here. And then here there's a yes. Here I ask, I say this is very transcendental, and it was talking about all lives, so this is an automatic response. And here, in the next one, it says, I told you yes. I already told you yes, the tone of voice. Here, it tells you it's true. It's true. Okay. Now we're gonna listen some in Spanish. Not necessarily they appear when... Normally, if you ask in Spanish, almost always responds in answers in Spanish. But sometimes we are talking in Catalan between us, and sometimes as well they answer in Spanish. These are male voices, and it's like they cheering me up, like, continue, don't stop. In the next one, it says you have to trust in yourself. I don't trust in anyone, but anyway. You must trust yourself. The next one says, let go your sorrow and go higher. In this one, says, he helps you. He refers to Enki. This other one says, you can listen, Miguel. Well, here I have to just make my point here, because it's a very delicate issue. There's people of my family that I identified perfectly, that they've manifest themselves. I got an uncle of mine that at his funeral, when that night when he passed away, he died when he was 102 years old. So that night his voice popped up, and his son verified it was his dad. He said, and another uncle came forward, and I asked him, "Are you here?" The voice said, "Yes." "How do I know that it's you? How give me a proof that it's you?" And he says, "Spinach." And then I knew quickly. I remember when I was little, I would go every now and then to his place. It was like a grandpa for me. And his favorite place was the spinach, and he was always telling me, "You need to eat spinach." So the only way to know that I would react, this is my identity sign. So, and of course, I'm not gonna play the voices because there's family around and involved, and I wanna respect the privacy. But I'm gonna play the voice of Tony, a big friend of mine from my village, from my town, that we all know him. And unfortunately, he took his life, and everyone that who knew him, we recognized his voice and his way of speaking. You know? He would talk English, he would speak in English. So he says, "Are you ready to go?" You have to really put your ear here.
Are you ready to go? Esta otra es claramente amigo Tony.
And this one, this other one, it's clearly it's Tony. It's this friend of mine. What have you said?
Dicho.
It's very clear. Well, now I'm going to show you, I'm going to play some voices that they call us, refers us to us with our names. So, she talked about my wife is Ellie, so they say yes, Ellie, or David. In this one, you can hear David. This is very curious. It has interrupted you, David. And here it sounds like it says, "Yes, David." Yeah, it has to happen, David. This one is very curious as well, because it repeats one again and again. It says David, but we are here. It's very common, this one. Let me put this closer. I'll end up in the hospital with my back. Okay, David, but we are here. In this other one, in Catalan as well, he says, "Beloved David." And this one is this is the one that they call my wife. Yes. Hey, Eli. There's a pause and then Eli. In this one, it says it 3 times, Eli, Eli, Eli. In this one, you'll hear Elizabeth. In this other one, it says, yes, Eli. Well, do you remember that we've talked about this manifestation of this being that it says that it's Enki? And I'm gonna play, before putting like the voice that is out of the human voice and out of our scale of voice, you'll see that it's extra human. Now you're gonna hear Enki in some other Vins talking about Enki. There's long conversations. It looks like they're debating in between some information, and they can give or not. They can give away or not. I'll play again. In this other one, is Enki.
Es Enki. Y otra vez lo mismo. El Enki.
El Enki. The Enki.
Vale.
Okay. This one you're gonna listen now. Some seconds, and you can hear they're talking between each other. You have to pay attention that in between the voice of the main voice, the speaker of these women, of all the group, Enki appears as well. Enki's voice appears, like a very different voice. Imagine all this mix of voices in the middle of in a room on your own, and you arrive home and you start to download everything into the computer, and you find these in the computer. It's like there's real conversations in between them. Now I'm gonna play Enki's voice, or the voice that claims to be this creature, apparently the incarnated. You're not gonna understand practically anything. You cannot. It's a very thick voice, like if it's in the box or in a cave. It comes out of a cave. To be able to know what he's saying, I'll better not telling you, because I've been months and months in between 4 and 5 hours every day with my just listening to the voices and listening at filters and different trying to slowing down each voice. I could understand some things that this being has told me. I've done really generical questions, like I said in which dimensions he has been and he is coming. He said in all of them. He's known all of them. This is a question that he answered me, and it was confirmed as well. Because when I do EVP sessions, I always go beyond the yes or no. I want to verify what they're telling me. Sometimes 5, 6 times I go again and and ask the same. But as I said, the half of the times that this being manifest himself, it's been very hard to me to understand. Not like the rest of the voices that are human. This is very hard to get what he's saying. Okay, let's hear him. This one is a very curious one. I'd like to explain a little bit because it has to be in the context, the voice, and you have to listen to the questions. We were talking about Pleiades in a session, and I said, yes, the 7 stars of the Pleiades that used to be represented in the Sumerian civilization. And this Enki guy says, "Are you kidding me? Are you joking me?" Trying but he said it in Catalan. But you're gonna. It's very hard to understand.
Da un poco de miedo esta voz.
It's scary.
Aunque no lo entendáis, se intuye, ¿verdad?
But you can intuit, you can pretty much get it at the same.
Esta otra también.
And this other one, from him. This one is an example of an automatic answer, because I was asking, are you good? Is it good to know your past lives? If it's good, it's good, and he says automatically. Look at the speed that he says, is not even a second. This other one is another one. Is Enki. Again, impossible to get what he's saying. But it's a very important voice. The hertz go up, increase so much when he comes forward with his voice, and the technicians that analyze it, they say this is not a human being voice. The other ones are apparently not human, but apparently they're energetic. But the voice sounds like the human voice, but that doesn't happen with this one. And that's the one who claims to be Enki and claims to be ET. Since the first day that they all told me they're all humans, but one of them. And here he says that the love that you've kept between your lives, it's always going to be, we're going to be reunited at some point. And he says in Catalan, it will be full. It will be fulfilling. Here with as time went past, this being that claims to be Enki, he's softened him. His voice has softened as we go back in the past. It was more powerful, and as the time went past, it's been softening, and here he says yes. Here he says Kia. Who is this? Here it looks like it says don't worry. This one, it says it's true. Okay, now I'm gonna play the voices that they are not as, it's not as important to wear the headphones. I think you can hear them pretty good. In this selection that I'm presenting now, it's you can hear a voice of a young girl that says, "I will," in Catalan they say they're escorting you, they are with you. It's as if they are next to me, next to the microphone. They'll escort you. These two I'm gonna play them 3 times so you can appreciate it better. And it's more understandable. Here it says in Spanish, "You don't see us?" As he's saying, "Hey, I'm in front of you." This one is very curious one because it has a Catalan accent, a very old Catalan accent from a peasant. And I admire, and he says, I admire you, but that doesn't have to happen again. As it says, okay, you've done a thing that has disappointed me. Listen.
Es un tono, un acento muy
It's a tone of voice very all Catalan. Okay, here we'll hear a voice that says, "Tell me, tell me." Now we're gonna listen a male voice that is saying, "I'm coming here."
¿Lo habéis oído? Más o menos. Bueno, aquí hay una declaración de amor.
Here there's a love declaration. No, I'm kidding. When they say "I love you," it's more in the spiritual plane. I love you, it says. This one is a little bit disrespectful. They don't hear you. And this one, very curious one, you can hear it very close to the microphone. I know, a voice, a male voice. A woman voice, sorry. To me, this one is one of the more clear EVPs. Is a girl, is a girl. I don't know what's the context, I don't remember the context of this session, but they say is a girl. Here it says it's his grandfather. This one that I'm going to play is very interesting because it gives us names and surnames of the supposed entity that is talking to us. Clara Guzman. In this one, it says, now it's an old one, she's an old one. Now, as if it's referring to somebody that got old. It's a male voice. Now she's an old one. And this one I understand exactly the meaning of, it says, love to the one if he comes. Love to the one that he... Very curious because this voice is talking in Spanish with a Catalan accent. At least I perceive it a lot like that. Listen again.
Ahora os voy a poner una lista.
Now I'm going to play a list of voices that say in a context or another one, they say the word Anunnaki or Anunnakis. He says Anunnakis. The double N is being said really with the strength. The second syllable. Here it says it was an Anunnaki. It says it was an Anunnaki. Here they say, you're an Anunnaki, David.
Eso da algún suspiro de alguno de los presentes. Aquí se oye.
Here we can hear is an Anunnaki.
Es una voz masculina.
It's a male voice. It is a very interesting one, as it says in Catalan. We've got, because I don't understand the meaning, but anyway. Or maybe being an Anunnaki, it's beyond being genetics or a physical aspect. Because it says, we have to make him become an Anunnaki, and he's got it. I've analyzed the sentence, and it says that we gotta make him become an Anunnaki, and he's got it. This is a male voice. The Anunnakis from Nil, they will go away. Nin Anunnakis will go away. So pretty much they're saying that they are a faction, a positive faction of the Anunnakis. The positive one was Enki, as you all know, and the negative one was the Lil one. Pay attention, in Catalan, the Anunnaki. They say from Lil, and he strengthens the L at the end, he stresses it. He looks like it says, it sounds like it says in Catalan, from the good ones, the good Anunnakis. Here I don't understand the meaning, but it says the request, you are an Anunnaki. Here there's one case that there was at least one of the entities that we used to listen to. Sometimes we had a lot of voices that manifested to ourselves, and there was always one that it was like the one that they didn't want to just join to the party. It was a female voice that they didn't want to get involved in these conversations, and you would say, "Oh, you are annoying with the Anunnakis." It's like a complaint. Here there's always talking about the same. I remember another time that another voice said, "If you don't like it, you can go away." Yeah, say it like that. To say, "Hey." There's some times that we've recorded some arguing. The next one says, it's hard to understand for you, but if you pay attention, it says Nephilim, the Nephilim, the sons of the children of the Anunnaki when they got mixed with the humans. Nephilim. different technicians have analyzed this voice, and he says that there's like a chorus of different voices. Okay, here I'd like to, before playing you the last ones, to tell you the why of all of these. Why David Parcerisa and not another one? I believe that reincarnation exists, and I'm not gonna just I'm gonna go straight to the chase, and tell you that in the 2014. And I have a friend, Jesus Jofra, a Catalan contactee that has been at Quarto Milenio on TV and in different TV programs, radio programs, just giving his experiences and talking about them. And he's a big friend of mine. And I remember that getting out of the conference, he said, "David, come on. How come don't you realize that it's not a coincidence that you are talking about Anunnaki? You've got something to do with all this, and you don't want to see it." And he was saying that for a long time. But my image, maybe people think that I'm very open, investigator, adventurer. But at the bottom of it, deep down, I'm very skeptical. And only my wife knows that whole thing. You can see that I can say that they open your mind, but then in my interior, I'm very like Thomas, Saint Thomas. In this EVP field, I like it because it's science. You can prove it scientifically, and there are other things that it's very hard to me. And Jesus Jofra used to tell me, "David, I perceived that you were one of them." And I said, okay, and I gave up talking about this, and nowadays I still have a lot of doubts. But I see that, come on, that I am the one that reactivated here, and Chichin had done it before, David Icke, and others had done it before, but in all the Hispanic countries, the Hispanic-speaking countries, I was the one that I was studying, and that happened to me, the EVP phenomena. I think that it's linked, and I think in the spiritual plane it links me with and all these beings have told me lots of information, lots I can give, lots of them I cannot give away. This being, one of the things I can guarantee you is that he told me that he knew me from thousands of years. I can't tell anymore. Can't tell anything else. Logically, this here is a thing that has to be taken as an anecdote, and because I have a lot of doubts too, but I cannot deny what I've seen, what I've registered, what I've recorded. Can't deny the people around me that yes, I've seen things, and this is objective. This is obvious that there's something there. In a deep way, I'm not that bold to go further and say, guys, in the past I was related to Anunnaki. I kind of I smell it, but I cannot guarantee it. And, this being, Enki, claims that he's back after thousands of years as a part of a plan to help a human race, and that he created the human race, and has his responsibility in all of this. These voices are warning us about the Anunnaki. They warn us about the psychic, the huge psychic that these creatures have to connect. Most of them reptilian. They connect with humans. Faber-Kaiser used to tell us that this lineage, blood lineages are controlled by the reptilians, and all these EVPs are telling us about us. We got 5 minutes left, and then 10 minutes with Q&A. I'm gonna play the voices straight away. Not these ones, because I already played them before. And I'm gonna play 4 EVPs that I've obtained from the spirit box, the receptor of radio waves. We've tried to experiment utilizing this apparatus. We've got very interesting results, because of course, because it's something very random, we'll have to analyze and say, okay, what I've got into my hands. And I had a pen in my hands, and I ask, what do I have in my hands? And he says, and between the noises, he says, pen. In this other one, you can hear A, contact. In this other one, a friend of mine asks, can you refer to us with our names? And automatically says in Catalan, yes, I already do it. And this one is an interesting one, because it says, apart from David, there's somebody else? And yes, there was another girl, Marina. And he says Marina, La Marina. Okay, and to finish, we'll hear some that they respond to me. He just says, yes, David. So, if there's any time left, I don't know if there's any Q&As, we're gonna clap and give him a big applause. Because what David has presented is very new, it's a premiere, at least even though he had experimented before at the personal plane from other planets and at the EVP plane, but what you just presented us, it's very clear, and can you open the light, turn the light on, please, and we have 6 minutes of Q&As. Okay, fantastic. She's in anglès, vols que vagi fora? Sí, però si em cassi algú en anglès. Si és en anglès, clar, després allà digue-li al David el que vol dir, perquè no... Ah, no, ja està. What's life like at the other side, on the other side?
Se nos escapa muchísimas cosas, porque ellos te dicen, sí, en la Luna hay personas que han secuestrado, ya va a es que hay algún problema con los audífonos, porque oigo desde aquí en la copla.
There's a little problem with the microphone, because I can see a noise. Can you please... Okay, there's something wrong with the translation into English in the channel. And then they tell you, oh, in the moon there's bases and there's abducted people up there, and they just say it like this, really. And then you ask to know more details about it, and logically there's lots and lots of things that I'm shocked about, and I'm like, so they sometimes they can only answer you yes or no, nothing more. So now we are in a delicate situation in this field. Sinesio Darner, as Josep had mentioned before, or Fran Recio, the big investigators in this field, in the EVP parapsychology, there's at some stages of the life that it gets activated, the phenomena gets activated, and it's clear. And lots of them that I played, they're really clear, some of them are not. at this point, it looks like they're on holiday now. They say yes or no, and nothing else. So it's very hard to summarize and concrete or have more information. Life beyond, you ask. Once I said, I told them that I had dreams, that I didn't know if they were dreams or they were like an OBE, that I was flying. They said, oh, we do it all the time. I don't know how it's gonna be beyond that. They have fun all the time, I can tell you. Hello, good afternoon. David. Hello. Go on. Okay, for these type of things, we had to be careful. Tell me, are you telling me?
Yo me conecté en Google más con la sola INSA y me comentó
I got in contact with people and they told me that it's very hard to issue this and to go beyond what you've said. As you said, we gotta be really careful with this issue. If you let me, we gotta be careful as well around talking about what we don't know. Who are you referring to? I'm referring in general. When we're talking about some concrete thing, you gotta have an experience and a background behind. Otherwise, you don't know anything. I don't know if I explain myself, because if you don't investigate, you don't know. I could have chosen a really easy option and say, I'm not going to talk about this, but my wife would say, no, don't you. My wife used to tell me, don't talk about this, because they're going to attack you. And I took this decision, because I couldn't live without insight, and I want to share with all of you. But if there's people that dare to say that I'm a fake or whatever, time will put everyone in their place. I'm a subscriber of you and from IVÁN Martínez and a lot of others YouTubers. And I understand what you're saying, that we have to be careful with it, but this that I'm presenting today, it's scientific, because I got proofs of it. Because if I'm here, because if I ask somebody and they say yes, there's somebody there at the other side. The question would be, has any of the voices tell you that they have any relationship with ours, fraternity or brotherhood? There's some voices that they have mentioned Sumerian gods. Some of them have mentioned Egyptian gods, and even Hare Krishna. But Horus, from Horus, I don't recall. I don't remember. I have to really. I had a lot of material. I had a lot of stuff, a lot of EVPs. You mean maybe you're talking about Sem Suhor, the Horus Brotherhood, the brothers, this race that they are half animal, half men that were here on the earth 1,000 years ago. Last question, please. Hi, David. What you mentioned before with the first question, it looks like that they're on holiday. Have you noticed if there's been any event that could influence to this? Maybe the solar flares activity, or something that could affect the transmission and that affects the communication, that there's more reception or less. Okay, I don't think it's in a physical level or any component that can be involved here, physical. I don't see it as a nonsense. But once I asked them, what's going on? I don't hear the voices anymore in the EVPs. It looked like they were like coming from far away. And suddenly a voice popped up and says, the key is yourself. So the key, it's inside, I think, at an emotional plane, I guess. Because these dimensional gates, I think they are relation to the human state of mind or emotion. We all are portals and gates that we can open and close. Probably have a closed mind and I will probably won. Thank you. Big applause for David Parcerisa. Thank you.